Doge's Big Balls makes his Fox News debut, and he delivers a shocker. And yes, apparently I am still a middle school boy who chuckles at the name Big Balls, but the kid's made an impact. He really, truly has. He and pretty much all of the Doge team, they have uncovered things that we didn't know about before, or at least we didn't have confirmation of. Now, to be clear, it's not exactly that hard. You just have to be smart and able to use algorithms and be able to look at records and say, this doesn't make any sense, which is exactly what Big Balls has done at Doge, as well as the other people. This segment of today's show is brought to you by Rev 7 by MyPillow, Mike Lindell's new energy drink. And it may not sound like it fits, but I'll explain at the end why it does. First, though, let's get into at least part of what Big Balls told Jesse Waters last night on Fox News.
Fraud and waste. And to do that, we started looking at the payment computers. And as mentioned earlier, there is no accounting of what payments actually go to in the payment computer. So you look at a specific line item, like $20 million, and you're like, okay, well, what is this money going to? And for the majority of payment systems, it's like, well, we don't really know. And
yeah, they're like, what? That would be the response.
Is this the most basic responses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most common response.
What do you say when people just say, I don't know?
Well, it's a huge cause for concern because the upstream thing, which is distributing the money, literally has no checks and no accountability to the actual American taxpayer. So it's a huge vector for fraud, waste, and abuse.
Do these people not respect taxpayer money?
I mean, there's no incentive to if you work in the government. I think the incentives will always decide the outcomes.
Yes.
I rarely use the phrase wise beyond his years, but in this case, it seems to fit. The very limited amount that we've seen of Big Balls has been very, very impressive. As pretty much everybody. I haven't seen anyone really on the Doge team that has gone out publicly. I haven't seen any. They seem sincere, I guess is the best way to put it. They seem that they truly are legitimately making sacrifices in their lives, taking risks, being threatened, being whatever, and for the sake of truly wanting to do something amazing. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, they're saints. I'm sure that they get a kick out of the importance of their role, compared to what they could be doing elsewhere. Sure, they could be making a lot more money doing other things, but I don't know if they could be as widely known, notorious, whatever you want to call it. And that does seem to be a motivating factor for many of these people. But the reason that I say that Big Balls seems to have a wisdom beyond his years is because he's saying something and he's recognizing something that I know a whole bunch of people, especially on the left, but even some on the right, who don't understand that aspect of government versus private. The reason that I am such a big fan of privatizing pretty much everything is because of the incentive. Because government employees just do not have the incentive. Okay, they don't fear that they're going to get fired. They don't fear that they have to do a good job. They don't fear the consequences if they mess up and their boss loses money. Because their boss, being the U.S. government, most people, for whatever reason, have this perception that it's an unlimited black hole where no matter how much money they lose, no matter how poorly they do their job, it's okay because it's government. They have that excuse, or at least they did. It seems as if Doge is coming around and making more Americans realize that this is an absolute total waste, not just for America, but for these employees that should be doing more. Private industry is the best way to solve nearly any problem, far better than government. And this young kid out there trying to save America, well, he does get it. Now, about Rev 7, real quick. I'm just going to throw this up there. This is Mike Lindell's new energy drink. You can get to it by going to mypillow.com/JDR. You can actually get this for free. You can get a 3-pack for free. You got to pay shipping and handling and all that stuff. But still, with promo code JDR, you can get a 3-pack of this for free. Now, I'm not a fan of energy drinks, but most people, and I guarantee you, most of those kids on Doge, they love their energy drinks. This one is different, though. It's got no caffeine, no sugar, nothing like that. And it's not even the sugar. It's not comparable to the sugar-free whatever other energy drinks are out there because they still base it upon chemicals that are supposed to, artificially increase your energy. This uses BPH. This uses what I use naturally, which is called ketones. And whether you're on the keto diet or not, having access to ketones, it boosts your brain, makes you talk fast, makes you doge well, whatever. So check it out, mypillow.com/JDR.